I'm just going to say a couple of words about what I feel is a perfect guitar solo played by Vito in White Lion, and the song, of course, is Wait. Everybody knows that this solo is the highlight of the song. If you take away the guitar solo from the song, it's little more than an inspired Van Halen pastiche, which is pretty much a good way to describe White Lion altogether in some respects. Particularly in the case of guitarist Vito, who I feel is one of the best Eddie Van Halen disciples to come out of the 1980s. His take on Van Halen's technique is polished and creative and melodic, and it's deeply personal, if not unique. So he bases a lot of what he does on Eddie Van Halen, and he's pretty open about doing so, but he is willing to let the sensibilities of the song guide his technique to a degree which Van Halen often isn't willing to go. In other words, Eddie's virtuosity overtakes his playing sometimes, whereas Vito's virtuosity is almost always purely in service of the melody of the song. And Wait, the solo in Wait is a perfect example of that. Got a lot of tasty technique in this song, but it doesn't get in the way of the polished melody. The melody itself, if you took it out of the song and just played it, it's almost like what a classical musician like Mozart or composed for stringed instruments, because it has that kind of elegant, and again, it's very sensible from a musical point of view. Now, since it's a rock song, a heavy rock song, all of that's nice and fine, but it could almost be out of place if it didn't have this remarkable spontaneity to it, this energy to it, this drive and joy. Well, if you do just a little bit of research on the recording of that particular guitar solo, it was done in one take, and Vito thought he was warming up to do the actual take, and it wound up being the version of the solo that went on the record. So that might account a little bit for the sound of the spontaneity of the whole thing. The other aspect of it is Vito is one of those players like Eddie who has this incredible joy for the guitar itself. I've spoken about that in connection to Jimmy Page. When a guitarist has that overflowing joy for the guitar, it can take them to heights that guitarists who merely approach the instrument from a professional or technical point of view can't touch. And I think that is the X factor, the secret ingredient of this song, of this solo. And I feel that Vito played a lot of great solos, but this to me is a perfect guitar solo. That's what I think. What do you think? If you have an idea about this or any other subject connected to contemporary or classic music, please comment in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.